So we are in the Gospel of Mark this year in the lectionary cycle, but every once in a while we take a break from that and kind of veer off and listen to like one of the letters in the New Testament. So you remember 27 books in the New Testament, kind of like different authors sharing their insights, and 4 Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and then there's 21 of the 27 books that are considered letters or epistles. 14 of those are kind of it's to be inspired by the Apostle Paul, and probably he really wrote 7 of them. And it sounds very, very different than what we've been hearing in the Gospel of Mark, which is like Jesus healed someone with a withered hand, or Jesus called the storm. And now it's like this systematic theology. So the book of Romans is sort of like Paul's PhD. And it sounds very, very different than really, Jesus did this, Jesus did that. But it's a good verse, it's a good scripture for a day like this when we celebrate this baptism, because Paul is all about kind of the love and the freedom of God that comes to us as just a gift. And so in this 8th chapter, there's a lot of very famous words that you would know, even if you don't know any scripture, like, we know that all things work together for good for those who love God. Or, what shall separate us from the love of God? Shall tribulation or distress or famine or nakedness, like that. But this particular part of the scripture, Paul has been talking about suffering and how we live in a world with immense suffering, and now God is calling us forward into something new and fresh. We know that the whole creation has been groaning in labor pains until now. And not only the creation, but we ourselves, who have the first fruits of the Spirit, groan inwardly while we wait for adoption, the redemption of our bodies. For in hope we were saved. Now hope that is seen is not hope. For who hopes for what is seen? But if we hope for what we do not see, we wait for it with patience.